This is Utah Tech Basketball and the Jon Judkins Coaches Show.
And hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Jon Judkins Coaches Show. I'm Rod Zundel. Glad to have you aboard tonight. Joining me, as usual, head coach Jon Judkins of the Utah Tech Trailblazers and junior guard Isaiah Pope. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so radio listeners, it's normal going. We're on the radio, but this is our first time streaming the Coaches Show, and so hopefully those watching us as well as listening to us will enjoy it. You guys got a split last week. On the road at Grand Canyon, you lost by 4. Probably one of the best college basketball games we've seen in a while. And then you came back home and got a win over New Mexico State. So let's talk about the week, Coach. You said you always wanted to get better. Did you?
Yes. Yeah, we did. I mean, the week before that was not one of our best outings. We had way too many turnovers, things like that. So we came in a little different plan of going inside, pound the ball inside of Tanner and see what they could do. And Grand Canyon's been a fun place for us to play. Number one, it's a fun team to play. They were back in the day. They were in the Division II ranks with us as well. So we played them even before their new big gym was built and before they went to Division I. So it's always been a pretty big rival for us. And we knew the crowd, and you saw the crowd there. It's a pretty fun place to play. Yeah,
we're going to show the highlights of that game in a minute. But Isaiah, that atmosphere, but going there on a Wednesday and then coming back on Saturday night. Do you like those games that are split out and only one game on the road, or do you like to go out on a 2-game road trip like you're going to do this week? You're going to go to Texas and go to Stevensville on Thursday and then Abilene Christian on Saturday.
Personally, I like the split. Coming back to the home crowd is always great. Winning on the road is hard, especially in conference. And so if you can get 1-1, I think that's good. But double road trips are cool too, We get to go to 2 different places at one time, see 2 different atmospheres. So,
going into Grand Canyon, 4-game losing streak, still without Cam Gooden, your senior leader and point guard. What was the mood going in there? Because you knew that would be a tough test and a tough atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, and he worked out with us the day before. He was just coming back. That game was kind of a question mark with our trainers. Can he play? Can he not play? He was trying to do some things, and we just felt, us as the trainers and the coaching staff, that he wasn't ready to go on that Wednesday. But he was close. He was a lot closer than people knew.
Yeah.
And then we got him back on Saturday, which was great. But Isaiah played really good on Wednesday.
Yeah.
He's been playing the point when Cam's been out, and there's been some things that we've been trying to put in his game a little bit like Cam has. Hey, we got to get to the rim more, and he did that on Wednesday, and obviously you can see that with the stats.
Yeah, all right, let's take a look at the highlights from last Wednesday night at Grand Canyon. It's a great atmosphere, guys. They were tailgating outside, one of the best atmospheres in the WAC, huh?
Yeah, they put on a show. I mean, it's like the Utah Jazz is what I call it. It's impressive.
And you said you wanted to go into Tanner, and, man, you did that early and often, and he was dominant in the paint.
Yeah, we saw some film and thought, hey, going into him either scores or draws fouls, and then he's a really good passer out of the post. And so when teams start to double team us, then he can kick it out, and our guys can hit the 3 ball.
Yeah, he scored the first 7 points, and then, Isaiah, it was your turn to start from outside.
Yeah, Tanner, the good thing about Tanner is when you get it to him early, then the defense really has to focus on him, and they collapse more, which means easy kickouts for us guards to knock it down and make plays.
You survived the first punch. They went off and got into a double-digit lead, and then you guys came back on a 19-3 run. Frank Stain, he finally got that 3-point shot, his touchback, didn't he?
He did. Well, but look at these videos right here. Look what he's doing. He's catching and shooting, and that's where Frank is really good. When Frank gets his feet set and he's catching and shooting the ball, he's a really good shooter. When he starts to maybe try to bounce it a little too much, then he's not as good. But, man, they found him when he was open, and he was ready to shoot.
Yeah.
And he knocks him down.
You came back and you took a 5-point lead, but you trailed it by 4 at the half. Second half, Jacob Nichols only took 3 shots, 2 of them beyond the arc. He made both of them. He's over a 50% 3-point shooter.
No, that's one thing about Jacob. He doesn't force a lot of stuff. He lets things come, and that's what he did. And he hit those 2, like you said, they were big ones. Yeah. And there's Frank again, open in the corner. Isaiah does a great job getting to the middle of the floor and then kicking it for a wide open three.
Yeah, Frank Stain, career high 21 points, 13 in the second half. Then Tanner going to work again.
Yeah, that's all right there by what Isaiah did. He had two guys guarding, the big guy stepped up, and he kicked it for a dunk.
Okay, you're down 9 with a minute left. You should be over, right? But no, here it comes. Started by you, Isaiah, with the 3. Could you feel maybe the tide turning there for a minute?
Definitely. You know, we always believe we're always in the game until it's zeros on the clock, and, you know, so I hit that big 3. No, I got a big steal.
That was the next trip down, and then on the next inbounds, knocked away, and Frank puts it up and in. So you're down 2 at this point. You've got a chance, and here's the next inbound. And Isaiah, this is you as well.
Foul. This is a foul on top of my head.
It is, but it goes out of bounds. They had to review it off of Grand Canyon. So 24 seconds left. You got the ball, down 2, got a chance to win or tie right here. And what happened?
The ref said I stepped out. I mean, it was a tough play. They did a good job, you know, walling up.
You got fouled, first of all.
I think so, too. But, you know, we called up a play, and they saw it coming, so they guarded it pretty well. And
they called you out, but your toe was inbound, and your heel was over the line. And when you got the ball out to Jacob,
he made the shot.
He made the go-ahead 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's got to – when you go back and look at that, you know, I didn't notice it, you know, when I was doing the game, but then I saw on Twitter some of the Stampede Nation saying, boy, we got jobbed on that call. And when I went back and looked at it, and Jacob made the go-ahead 3.
Yeah.
So how do you accept that?
I mean, it's out of our hands, you know. What can you do, honestly? And, I mean, it's a tough call, but sometimes you can't let the ref decide the game for you, you know. It should have made a different play maybe, but there's nothing you can do about it now. You know what I mean?
I mean, is that the play that you wanted to let him go one-on-one because he'd done so well? And Isaiah, coaches wanted you to be more aggressive, right?
Yeah.
When you're taking over the point guard position for Cam Gooden. And, Coach, he did that. I mean, he went to the basket hard and often.
Well, the play you said, that was a play we drew up. He did everything he was supposed to do, and he kicked it like he was supposed to. We were trying to get a layup for him, obviously. That's the first option. And then he has a guy in the corner, and he has a guy up on top. But it's a read that he has to see. And one of those guys are going to be open. And he found the right guy. They just said he was out of bounds. And the ref had called it, the angle. I could kind of see why he called it because he's on top of the line. Yeah. And he kind of thought his heel was touching him. But when you go back and look at it, it wasn't. But the thing I'm happy, Rod, is we had a chance there. I mean, down 9 with a minute. And to have a chance and the ball in your hands to tie or to take the lead, we just got to take advantage of that. And on the road, sometimes you get those bad calls. Yeah,
Isaiah, you are a player of the game. You had 25 points, career high. You went to the free throw line a career high 11 times, 14 times, and you made 11.
Yeah. You know, we try to emphasize getting inside. You know, that was a big thing we pushed that week in practice. And I think their defense wasn't very good at pressuring, like, you know, Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston. So, but it all starts with getting in with Tanner. When Tanner gets going early, then that opens up the lanes for me and then the other guards, and they have to rotate, and sometimes they rotate late and they foul. And once the refs start giving you a couple fouls, you know, they start to like you, I think. So you just keep going, and they start giving you more calls.
And they set the tone early, the officials. And as a team, you have to respond to that because they were setting picks and out on the perimeter. They were calling it tight, a lot tighter than they were the previous 2 games at home. So as a player and a coach, when they're calling it that tight, every little bump when you bring on somebody on the perimeter, it's a foul in the first half. You've got to adjust to that, right? And then adjust your whole game because of that, right?
Yeah, what's we teach when we first walk in there? We always say, play as hard as you can and adjust to the officials. What you don't want to do is play soft thinking, they're going to call a lot of fouls, and they don't. Yeah. You got to play. And the hard part, too, Rod, is I probably shouldn't say this, but sometimes you get officials at home and on the road, the same official, and they ref different on the road than they do at home. And hopefully you get the same official say, this guy's going to let us play tonight, or this guy calls a lot of hand checks. So we got to make sure we pull our hands off. But we haven't got that yet, at least I haven't, of what officials are doing, being consistent with that. So you want to play hard, you want to play physical, and then if they call them, then you have to adjust. Yeah. And these guys have done that.
So with that being said, you guys go to the free throw line probably more than anybody in the conference. Again, you went to the free throw line 30 times compared to only 23. You made 21 of 30. So you went to the free throw a lot. But when you look at the stats, Coach, you basically did everything right, except for they had a guy by the name of Harrison that had 38 points, and he had 7 or 8 3-pointers. Yeah, he made that kind of changed things around a little bit. But when you look at the stats, I mean, what do you have, 9 turnovers? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, everything worked out except, like you said, that we we watched film, and that's the first thing we showed him was, the first 2 or 3 3-pointers he hit were our fault. Our guys went under ball screens. We flew out, and we weren't ready to play defense, and he had 2 really good looks wide open. And, Rod, you've played it. When you hit your first 2 or 3 shots, all of a sudden they think, okay, it's going to be my night. And that was our fault. Then we kind of started to guard him a little bit better the second half. But sad part is, Saturday he played Utah Valley, and he was 0 for 6 to start the game. I mean, but against us, he was 5 for 5 to start the game. But it just happens. It just happens. But I was proud how these guys adjusted to that in the second half, and we did a lot better job on them in the second half.
Well, to come back from 9 down with 56 seconds left and have a chance to win at the end, that says something, don't you think, Isaiah and Coach?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we're never out until it says zeros on the clock. I think we had a game last year, same thing at Cal Baptist. We were down, I think, 8 or 9 with a minute left, ended up coming back and winning. Yeah. So, it's never over till it's over, we like to say.
Okay, this is the Jon Judkins Coaches Show, Utah Tech basketball, along with the head coach of the Trailblazer, Jon Judkins, and junior guard Isaiah Pope. All right, after that game, we saw Cam Gooden out, not in uniform, but he was warming up, taking shots in pregame, didn't play. You come home, taking on New Mexico State, and Cam Gooden comes out in uniform. You knew he was going to play. Before we get to your thoughts on that, Coach, Isaiah, when you knew that Cam was going to come to play, and then you wouldn't have to play point guard all the time, he could give the ball to you, what did that do to the morale of this team to have your senior leader come back after missing 5 games?
I think it was great for everybody seeing him come back. He works really hard, and it's tough to see a guy like that go down with an injury. And he wants to come back every day. He's sick out there having to sit out, but he had to do what he had to do. So him suiting up on Saturday and him coming out with us is, it's big time. Like you said, he's a senior leader. Like we've been around together for 3 years now, and he just knows what to do all the time. He makes plays, he makes smart plays, he plays defense. So. And like you said, it is a good help on the ball, point guard. He can get back to his position. I can get back to my usual position. So it helps a lot.
And he's been out the last 5 games with an oblique strain. And Coach, as a coach, you're getting your leader back. Somebody is going to be happy about it. And I think Noah Gonzalez was the happiest guy because he couldn't find his 3-point shot without Cam Gooden in the lineup. But, man, did he find it on Saturday night when Cam was in there. Even when he wasn't playing, Noah had his best game of his career.
Yeah, he shot it. I mean, when Noah's shooting the ball real well, he can get going. But like you said, Cam, we got back late Thursday on that game after on Wednesday. We got back late Thursday, didn't practice, we watched film. And then Friday he wanted to try to see if he could handle some contact, and Cam handled it pretty good. That was our little test, and he said, hey, I'm ready to go on Saturday when the docs cleared him, and so we were excited. So like I said, I mean, I think when we had Isaiah had some turnovers those games, one, the team was really pressuring us, and 2, he played 38 minutes of the point guard and the ball in his hand the whole time. I think giving those guys some breaks helped Isaiah's game, and it helped Noah's game because they're fresher and they're doing some different things. And so you're right, Noah did have a big night, and that's with Cam, but that's also going inside. We pound the ball inside again, and when teams start to collapse in, then it's going to kick out those ones. I thought this game on Saturday we shared the ball really well. Would it go in? It came back out. Our guys made extra passes, and we had wide open shots and knocked them down.
So New Mexico State, they were picked to finish second in the WAC, but things haven't gone that way with their first-year head coach. They were 0-7 coming in, and so that's kind of a dangerous team, right, Coach?
Yeah, it's really dangerous because they're good. They're athletic. They're long. They've had some crazy stuff starting the year, with the stuff, the New Mexico stuff and what have you. But they've had a lot of different things, a new coach, new system, all that. But we didn't want to be their first WAC win. And we talked about that. We said we're not giving them their first WAC win.
All right, let's go back to Saturday night in Burns Arena, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Utah Tech and New Mexico State Aggies. Roll the video, sir. There we go. And immediately, Noah Gonzalez, he was starting to feel it from the 3-point line. I think he made, 9 quick points in the first half?
Mm-hmm. But again, that one right there, you saw go to inside, back to Isaiah. Isaiah kicks it over there to Noah. The first one, it's a catch and shoot. This one, he does a great shot fake and gets fouled on the shot. So, again, the ball movement was good. We want our guys to be ready to shoot at all times, and they were.
And then, Isaiah, you continued your hot play from Wednesday.
Yeah, Noah got going early, so I think the defense had to focus on him a little bit more. And then once Cam checks in, he draws a lot of attention on the ball. So I was just, making the right play.
Yeah.
Teammates were finding me, and when you play basketball the right way, good things happen.
You just saw Cam. He went to the floor, but he got up. Sigh of relief
slowly,
right there.
Slowly,
Yeah.
it kind of concerned me a little bit. Yeah.
And then Pope, you get hot again.
Yeah, like Coach said, he's been asking more of me, especially since Cam was out, and to be more aggressive and to, try to make plays. And I've really just been trying to do that, watching film with the coaches, seeing what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and trying to do the best I can to help us win.
And you and Gonzalez, you guys went back and forth and just dominated in the perimeter. And when Noah hits all those threes, who's putting up the assist?
Yeah.
Isaiah. He was really distributing the basketball. And then Stain again, he continued his hot shooting from three-point land. And then Gooden came in the second half, really got into a rhythm after missing 5 games.
Yeah, he hit those. I think he hit 2 or 3 threes in a row, and then he came down, shot one about 40 feet out. Kind of looked over the bench. I said, "Well, he must have thought the basket was really big because that was a tough one." But yeah, he did again. When you haven't played for a while, sometimes you try to do too much. I don't think he did that. I thought he really let the game come to him, and those are wide open shots that he's shooting, and that's exactly what we wanted to do. And they started going in for him, and then he started driving again.
He wanted that.
Yeah,
he stepped back 3.
He could have drove probably got a layup, but he said, "No, I think a 3." But again, I was happy for him because again, it's hard to do that when you haven't played for a while. You try to do too much, and then there's a great one. Isaiah throws to Trey for a 2-hand dunk right there off 1 foot. Very good pass, getting out and running, and very good.
And when the Aggies tried to make a run, they cut it down to 14. Trailblazers always had an answer. Jacob. Again, he seems to be there when you need him.
He plays hard. Jacob, I can always know what I'm going to get out of Jacob. He always plays hard. He's always on the floor. He's always diving for balls. And right now he's shooting the ball extremely well.
Yeah. And Isaiah, after your career high night of 25 on Wednesday, you came back with 23, right?
Yeah.
On Saturday. But you had a career high 8 assists.
Yeah.
8 assists.
That's shout out to my teammates, man. We got plays we draw up, and I'm supposed to get to my spot and make a read, but I can give it to them right where they need it, but they got to make the shot. So we did a great job making our open shots, and, I guess that counts for me on the assist column.
Yeah, you got the 13-point win, Coach.
Yeah, it's like anybody. When you're shooting the ball well, it seems like your passing becomes well because they have to guard you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they fly at you a little bit, and he makes those extra passes. So you got to have that both games going there. But he played really good these last 2 games. Again, 8 assists was huge. Even when Cam's back, it tells him he's still seeing that. So having Cam out, I think, helped Isaiah's game a little bit. And now we hope that he continues to do what he's doing.
23 points, 8 assists, and rebounds. You also had 5. You were 11 for 14 from the free throw line Wednesday in Phoenix, 7 of 9 Saturday. So the entire game. I'm not going to mention the 6 turnovers, though, to go along with those 8 assists. I won't mention that. But your all-around game, like you said, he's probably benefited the most with Cam being out. And now if he can continue that with Cam in, look out.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're hoping for, and he's done that. The last 2 games he has, but now he's got to continue to do it, and he will. Knowing him, he will.
And Noah Gonzalez, a career night, 24 points, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 5 of 9. He's had your school record for 3-pointers in a game.
It's 6.
6.
And who
do you
has
hold
it?
that?
I do hold that.
I think you do. And Noah has been on 5, 2 or 3 games this year. And the thing about it, we were waiting for him to try to force one. He didn't.
No, he
didn't
won't.
take a bad shot.
That's Noah. Noah won't do that. He had a couple good looks, just missed them. But yeah, he's not that way.
Yeah,
he wants to win, and this whole team's that way. They want to win. The stats are neat and all that, but their big goal is just to win.
52% from the floor, and then you shot 11 of 25 from 3-point line. You'll take that every game, won't you?
Yeah, we shot in the first half. We shot the ball really well. So. Yeah, we're doing.
First half you shot 64%.
Yeah, 64%. Yeah, we talked about that at halftime, didn't we?
Yeah. And your free throws above 70, you'll take that.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of time, Rod, a lot of time shooting foul shots, and I know the fans sometimes don't think we do, but we do, and sometimes you talk about it, and sometimes you just got to let it go and move on.
Okay, so you break the streak, and you're going to go on the road.
We're going to start another streak.
Going to start another streak. So you're going to win number 2 and number 3 on the road. We are going to take a break. We are going to come back and talk about that road trip in Texas on Thursday and Saturday. That's when the Jon Judkins Coaches Show comes back. And welcome back to the Jon Judkins Coaches Show. We are getting ready for 2 games this week in Texas. Before we get to the men's and your road trip this coming week, let's talk about the Utah Tech women's basketball team. They fell to 4-3 in the WAC after dropping an 11-point home decision to Southern Utah last Thursday night. Trailblazers look to get back on track with a couple of home games this weekend, starting with Tarleton on Thursday and followed by on Saturday with Seattle. The Utah Tech women's tennis team dropped a pair of home matches to Utah last Friday. Blazers will get back at it next Friday that's February 3rd at Idaho State. And the Trailblazer women's swimming team combined to break 3 school records, and they won 8 events in a dual meet at Idaho last Saturday. Utah Tech will host Northern Arizona for Senior Day, a dual meet this Saturday at the HPC pool. For all things Trailblazer athletics, go to UtahTechTrailblazers.com. All right. We fly into Dallas on Wednesday, then Thursday we drive down to Stevensville, Texas, take on Tarleton State, and then we head to Abilene, take on Abilene Christian. So let's talk about the Texas two-step, Coach.
Well, number one, I said that that's the second time I believe we've played a road, on the road twice. Utah State and Weber State was our prior other one. So this will be good for us to do. It's kind of weird when sometimes you have a home game and the next day you have a road game, but this one, they're both away. Tarleton's the same with us. I mean, they moved into the Division I the same time we did. They got a whole bunch of different guys, some transfers, the portal. Billy does a good job coaching these guys. They play extremely hard. They play a lot of guys. One guy we were talking about today played 37 minutes one game. The next minute he plays 4. You just don't know what they're going to get, but they're always athletic. They're always really good defensively, pressuring the ball, so we got to take care of the ball. The one thing that stuck out at us today, watching film on them, is they're 9-0 at home and they're 0-8 on the road. So we're going to try to give them their first loss at home. So we got to be ready for them. I'm excited for the trip. I think it'll be a good trip for us, and Cam, everybody will be back and healthy. Everybody we're ready to go. We had a couple good days of practice, and we'll leave tomorrow and go have a practice there, and then get ready to play.
And Isaiah, you got off the schneid, 5-game losing streak. Now you start a new one with a chance to do it on the road.
New winning streak, that is, not a new losing streak.
No,
winning streak.
You're going to start it. Did I say a losing streak?
No, another one.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, did I say that?
Yeah.
Well,
you're going to start another one.
I got what
another
you
losing.
I'm going to start another streak.
There you go. Winning streak.
Winning streak.
There you go.
See, they knew what I meant. So you're going to start another streak, a winning streak on the road with 2 in Texas. And if you can get it on the road, that just adds more to the fire, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Road wins are hard to come by, and especially in the WAC. A lot of the teams play very well at their home court, but we're confident. Saturday was a big win for us, and we know what we have to do to win. And as long as we put it together, I think we'll come out with 2 of them this week.
Yeah, you played in Texas. They don't fill it up like Grand Canyon in their arena, but that's still a tough place to play.
Well, we didn't play there last. This is our first time at Tarleton. We've played there.
Yeah, but
so
you
that'll
played
be
in
different.
Texas.
But we've played there. Yeah. So the travel will be normal like we do. I'm so tired of seeing purple in the WAC though. It's Grand Canyon, and now these guys are purple, and Abilene Christian's purple, and so it's kind of
Stephen
different.
F. Austin's purple too. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
but you're right. It's a road trip, and these guys do really good on the road. We've played good on the road. I mean, our Utah State, our Weber State, the Grand Canyon game we've played good on the road. We just we got to start out Thursday, be ready to go. They had a tough loss on Saturday against Cal Baptist, so they're going to be hungry. We got to win. So the team that wants it the most is going to get it.
Yeah, both of these teams are kind of all in the same position that you are. They're just trying to get a winning streak going and get some mojo going. So it probably is going to come down to desire and fight, right, Isaiah?
Yeah, definitely. In between those lines, it's really about who wants it more. And because we all have game plans, we all have, things that could go wrong, things that could go right, but it's really how bad do you want it, and if you want to go get it more than the person in front of you.
Okay, I got to talk about this in Grand Canyon, in the hotel before the game. Boy, a mean game of rock, paper, scissors. So we got to explain that. I mean, that's Gibson, right?
That's my coaching staff. But no, we just try and do some things different. Sometimes you get in a rut and you just got to get out. And Gibson came up with that idea, and he passed it along to me. He goes, "What do you think?" I said, "Gib, let's do it. I think it's a great idea." So just getting the competition back, and then also cheering for your teammates. This team's done that, but sometimes you have to remind them that, the whole object of the game is to win. No matter if you're on the court or not on the court, or hurt or not hurt, whatever it may be, you got to support the guys that are out there. And so that was kind of his paper, rock, scissors. When you lost the paper, rock, scissors, you had to cheer on the guy that beat you. And so then it got pretty good. I was surprised the hotel didn't come and say, "Hey, you guys are making too much noise." But that was a lot of fun, and I thought our guys enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, Isaiah, that got kind of crazy and loud. That's the loudest I've seen you guys at a hotel in a long, long time.
Yeah, nah, that was rigged, though. He played the weird rules. He said rock, paper, scissors, no shoot. I've always played rock, paper, scissors, shoot. But he said rock, paper, scissors, like straight up.
I don't
what is shoot?
Yeah, what's
you go shoot, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And then,
shoot.
We go rock, paper, scissors. See the difference?
See? I've never played rock, paper, scissors in my life, so I have no idea what you're talking about. So, all right, Isaiah, we've talked about this before, but let people know where you're from and what your future plans are when you have to give up basketball.
So I'm from Orange County, Southern California. I grew up there, born and raised. A lot of my family's out there. Great place to grow up. You got the beach, you got Disneyland, you got Hollywood, all that, all in the same area. So I love it there. And my plans after, I hang it up, eventually I want to do something, because I'm getting a communications degree, hopefully this spring. And I just want to do something that can help benefit other people. I think life is about, sharing your experiences and helping each other out. So I want to do something, maybe whether that's with kids or with adults, help, bringing people together to get things done, and it's,
awesome.
Making a lot of money would be cool for sure, but
always is.
I think just being happy is the most important.
And, well, you've still got a ways to go on your basketball career, because I think this last week, probably the best two games consecutively that he's had at Utah Tech. Do you agree with that?
I agree for sure, yeah. And, I really wanted to step it up this year, I've been putting in the extra work and talking with the coaches and stuff, because I just feel like, last year I had an injury that I was dealing with, and the year before that I was young. So this year I really wanted to emphasize that I've been here 3 years. I'm a leader. I'm a veteran. I know what to do, and it's been working out for me. And you got to just remain humble and keep putting in the work and listen to coach and stuff like that. So.
All right, Tarleton State Thursday night, 6:00 tip-off Utah time, 5:45 tip-off. On the Fan, and then it's a 5:00 tip-off on Saturday, 4:45 pregame on the Fan as well. So, guys, thanks for joining us, and I guess we'll see you in the morning, bright and early. As we get on the bus and head to the airport.
You got it.
All right,
thanks for having us.
That will do it. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us here on the Jon Judkins Coaches Show. Next time we talk to you, Thursday night from Stevensville, Texas.
This has been a
Good night,
production
everybody.
from a podcast studio.